Hey guys, welcome back to another week of chats. I'm Cindy Ouellet. I've been your host for it's our third week now. So this week we're gonna talk about summer bucket list. It's really nice outside now. It's summer. It's warm. Even I'm from Quebec City. It's warm here now. So I have two athletes with me today, an Olympian and a Paralympian. So we'll be chatting with them about their bucket list and what they're gonna be doing this summer. So tomorrow is actually the first day of summer, June 20th. And we're super excited to share with you some of our activities. And hopefully, you guys can comment in the live chat and tell us about some activities that you'll be doing as well. So let me start with Karen, an Olympian in kayak. She's going to talk a little bit about her sport and what she's been doing. So, hi, Karen.
Hey, Cindy, how are you doing? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So can you tell us a little bit what you've been doing? Like what's your sport? How many
Yeah,
Olympic you've been to?
absolutely. So, my name is Karen. I'm from Waverly, Nova Scotia, so East Coast. I love it here. I grew up paddling on this beautiful chain of lakes called the Shubenacadie Waterway. And so, kayaking, my canoe club is called Chima, which in Mi'kmaq means to paddle. And as a young girl, I used to imagine just connecting to all the energy on the water. I love how my body feels and how my energy feels just connecting to the water. So I grew up paddling in a team boat, so the war canoe, and eventually into the single boats, the K1, that's the K1, and then some other team boats as well, the K4 and the K2. And I got to compete in Sydney in the year 2000, Athens in '04, and Beijing in 2008. So lots of amazing experiences. I got to spend 20 years with the Canadian team. And now I just train for fun. I get to go on the water every now and then. So that's super fun for me. It's an absolute pleasure to be here this afternoon, and I'm really excited for your questions. So I hope you guys have got some questions lined up.
Yeah, like I said, from we're live on Facebook and in a classroom chat, so don't hesitate. There's a live comment box that you guys can ask question the whole time we're talking, so we can answer all your question. Thank you, Karen. I'll ask you
Yeah,
some question later. So now
absolutely.
I'll present you Tara. Tara is actually my teammate on the wheelchair basketball team, so I know her a little bit, but I'll let her introduce herself and talk about what she's been doing. Hey, T.
Hey, all right. So time to go here. Hey, talk about me a little bit. Okay.
Yep.
My name's Tara Yanis, and I play for the Canadian women's wheelchair basketball team. And I mean, I've been playing for, I guess, going on my third year with the national team, and it's just been an unreal experience. I haven't been to a Paralympics yet. Tokyo would be my first Paralympics, but I have been to Pan Am Games, which is what you're looking at right now, and where we won gold. And so, yeah, just spending my days training, doing different roller sessions, training at the house, lifting weights, and just staying motivated to be back on court with my teammates. So, yeah.
Well, that's all fun. Tara was also a tennis player before she was a basketball player. So I'm glad she switched to basketball. I like basketball better. So, like I told you guys, tomorrow it's a big day. It's the first official day of summer. So in honor of that first day of summer, we'll be talking about our summer bucket list. We'll try to give you some ideas. So really, what we want us to do with you guys, take a blank piece of paper, any little piece of paper you got at home. Write down all the things you want to accomplish. It doesn't have to be only sports. It can be, I don't know, if you want to cut the grass with your grandparents, your dad, you want to go play outside with your friends, with your dog. So anything that you want to do this summer, write it down. And once you accomplish it, once you've done it, put a check mark. So then at the end of the summer, you can look back and you can see everything that you've done. So first, I'll talk about my summer bucket list. Um, for me, I'm still an athlete. I'm still on the team with Tara. We're 12 girl on the team. We've been training pretty hard. We have training every day in wheelchair basketball. So for me, on my bucket list, I want to train once or twice a day. So that's on my list. Then after that, I want to read a book, one book a week. So I've been reading quite a lot the past few years. So it's just for fun, just little books. Also, I want to see my family. I see my family every week now. It's been hard, I know, with all the virus and the COVID going on. It's been a little bit harder to see our friends and family. We got to be outside still. So, with respecting the rules and everything that our government said, obviously, I see my family outside. So, doing that. And then I would like to go probably on a boat in the next few weeks to go maybe wake surf or do something like that on the water. So that's my big bucket list for this summer. Now we'll ask Karen what's her bucket list looks like.
Yeah, I have kind of a big bucket list. I actually made this little vision board back on New Year's Eve this year. So on the top here, you can see a garden. I actually want to build a garden in my backyard. So I want to get some nice shrubs and maybe some hostas. My lawn does not look good right now. So I want just plants and lots of good things like that. So, and then if you can see on this other side, so 2020 vision. I know we've kind of had to modify our 2020 vision this year, right, you guys? So here's some chin-ups. I train at a gym now. Our gyms are open here in Nova Scotia. So I love doing stuff like that. Chin-ups, I love feeling and connecting to my strength. So yeah, chin-ups, I like to move my body. You can see golf down here. Golf is one of my favorite activities now that I'm actually officially retired from kayaking. So getting out onto the course, I'm actually playing tomorrow morning in honor to the first day of summer. Playing the piano. You can see down here, I actually have a little piano in my house. So I'm reteaching myself how to do that. And I'm going to show you the other side here. So there's a paddle board. I want to go to paddle boarding. I haven't been out on the water yet. I can't believe it. My parents last weekend just had their golden wedding anniversary. So my sisters and I have two younger sisters. We planned a socially distant and safe family supper. So that was really fun. And look at this cake, you guys. It's so cool. So I learned how to bake during COVID. And that was one of my goals. Was just learning how to bake different things, cook different things than I was used to typically making. So yeah, trying to expand what I was doing already. And I love learning new things. So you can see here, there's a kayaker. So I want to get back to my roots and do some kayaking this summer on that bucket list. And what else is of interest on this board? Let me just see if I can move it around a little bit. There's lots of food. I love to eat, you guys. There's some fun sandwiches, like open-faced sandwiches. There's some fish here. I love seafood. And here on the east coast of Nova Scotia, we get great seafood as everywhere we do. But yeah, so I love to just play around with different things like that.
All right, this is quite a board. So
That's
you guys can have fun too. You can make a board with your bucket list because it looks really cool. So better than a piece of paper, but still do it on a piece of paper first, like I did, and like Tara is gonna have to, I think. But if you have more time, have fun with it. That's like another activities to do. You can take like do some crafts and everything. And same as Karen, I have the piano in common, so I'm gonna be playing piano as well. So I'm pretty excited about that. So now, Tara,
Nice.
tell us what your bucket list looks like.
Yeah, well, big props, Karen, because that whole vision board was like beautiful. So yeah, I went for the piece of paper. I'm just going to read you some of the things. And I added one because, I added reading because when you said that, Sin, I had sort of not really read a lot of books for quite some time. I just kind of was getting more into other things. But I've been on a big reading kick lately, and just loving it. Just sort of reading honestly about books that are kind of sparked by things that are sort of happening around the world right now. So anyway, and then I also started learning this editing software called LumaFusion. And so I've been editing all these little videos together. And Sin, like we had done that one with the team, like we basically had the ball and then we would kind of like throw it into another screen. And so I like edited that together, and that was my first one. So anyway, just stuff like that. I've been wanting to learn a new language. Probably French makes the most sense because half of our basketball team speaks French. So I kind of want to get on that train a little bit. And camping. I'm going to go camping the first week of July. Just want to get out in BC. I'm in beautiful British Columbia. And just want to be outside, just sort of take a week off of training and just be in nature. So, and then of course, staying fit and just being ready for when we finally do get back on court together, which is probably not going to be for quite some time, but I want to be ready for when that does happen. So yeah, and then a great suggestion from you guys was message me on Twitter right here if you guys out there, all you school kids, have any suggestions as to a bucket list. That's my list.
All right. Well, that was a good list. It's actually really good. And I saw some of your friends saying that they want to go on more hikes with you. So you're going to have to
My
go hiking.
friends?
Yeah, well, it's Fanny. So you're going to have to go hiking. So like we talked the past 2 weeks, we talked about mindfulness. We talked about physical activity with you guys. See, summer bucket list is kind of a combine of both of those things. It's super important to go outside. Now we're allowed to start some sports and some of the gyms are reopening. We'll be allowed to see our family. We'll be allowed to see our friends. So I think it's going to help us be with our mindfulness, like I talked last week, really de-stress, trying to breathe more, really get up in the morning, trying to be positive and start our day really on the right foot. So now I have a couple more questions for our athlete today. I want to talk with Karen a little bit. I really want to know what you're up to right now with the whole COVID situation. Do you have any hobby that you picked up during this time that you're really proud of?
Yeah, so aside from my baking skills, I also taught myself how to knit because what I found was that I needed something to do with my hands so that I wasn't refreshing Twitter and constantly on the news feeds and, you know, spending hours on end on my phone. So knitting for me was really helpful through March and April. I think it's kind of like a wintry or spring kind of activity. And I also was doing puzzles a lot. So something to keep my hands busy, and puzzling for me, like creating big puzzles, is something that I get into this like flow state almost. So I like time magically disappears. I don't know if anyone else shares that, but I certainly get very engaged in my puzzle. And so I finished 4 in a row and then I stopped. I was like, I'm done with the puzzles. I need to get outside. Our weather is beautiful. And so then I started doing walks when we could leave our block and we could use the trails in the parks. So just re-experiencing the outdoors again, and really having a brand new appreciation for, you know, what's good in the world and what's moving in what feels good to me. So spending time outside for me always is helpful for my mindset as well as my body. And so starting to get a little more comfortable with those things for sure. But my day-to-day right now is I always move my body about 30 minutes to an hour. I'm doing some work on some virtual presentations here and there. So it's been a challenge, but it's been a good learning experience too, like Tara said.
I see in the bottom, there's a question for you, Karen. Do you have a favorite summer song or a song that reminds you the summer?
A summer song? Oh my goodness. I don't even know. Like,
That's a
how
tough
about
one on this
here
part.
comes the sun. Here
All
comes the
right.
sun. I like that one. Yeah, that's an old school though.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit old school for our kids right now, but go look it up. It's a
Yeah.
good song to know.
Yeah.
All right. So Tara, tomorrow it's the first day of summer, like I mentioned earlier. Do you have any idea of what you're gonna do, or any thoughts, or that you can share with the kids?
Well, first, I actually didn't realize that it was the first day of summer. um, but that's great. I mean, it's kind of felt like summer has started for a while now, just because of COVID and just being home and all of that. But honestly, I'm in agreement with Karen. I just want to be outside. I mean, I know we're training 5 days a week and doing multiple things for training, but I've found that there's certain weeks that get a little bit more stressful than others. And so I just decided that I need to take that time to take my dogs for a hike. And instead of just working on maybe chair skills that day, because I need to really work on my mental health, and just making sure that I'm getting out in nature and just, I don't know, taking some deep breaths in, basically. So yeah, Fanny came out and went for a hike with me, which was awesome. And so I just want to do more of that with friends. Social distancing, of course. But yeah, that's kind of my thing right now. That, and then just going camping. I just want to do stuff like that, like fishing. I'm horrible at it, but I don't care. I'll just sit there and hang out. So yeah, just hang out with the dogs. Yeah,
All
that's
right. So
fun.
yeah. So let's go outside. Like it's nice now. So like it's time to go outside. It's time to go play. Do anything. Like Tara says, she's not good at fishing. She still does it. She loves it. It's fun. It's fun to try new things, right? Like even if we're not good at it, it's always fun. So Karen, do you have one piece of encouragement that you can give while we're at home in this tough time right now?
Yeah, I guess my one word of wisdom would be just be aware. Be aware of how you're feeling. Be aware of your present moment. Come back to that present moment often, because it's a great teacher. And I think being aware of how we're feeling in the moment is really helpful as to how we can move forward and navigate what's going to happen next, and things like that. But always coming back to that present moment. I find it really helpful, as Tara mentioned, to breathe, to take time and breathe out. Breathing out just releases that. It's like a calming effect, and we can come back into that present moment just by paying attention to our breathing. And yeah, that would be my little piece of advice.
Yeah, and last week too, we learned how to breathe. We did some exercise, so everybody should know now how to how
Sweet.
to breathe. And in the morning, before bed, during the day when we feel stressed at school, we can all do it
Yeah.
with a teacher. So we learned that last week actually. So it's really, really good advice.
Beautiful.
So Tara,
Beautiful.
what was your favorite way to stay active at home? Like you mentioned, you went out on a hike with family and friends, but what was your favorite activity that you did to stay active?
I mean, I think that was probably it. Well, that and mountain biking. So I've gone out on some mountain bike rides and really found there's some amazing places here in North Vancouver. It's like a 10-minute drive from my house, and all of a sudden you're just sort of in this place that I'd done some rides that I'd never done before, and just kind of discovering some new places in North Vancouver that I never knew were there. So I think that's really helped me to, just stay healthy, just not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. And so, yeah. And I think too, it's important for everyone out there to realize that this isn't a permanent thing. I know that sometimes it can be really stressful because we're all sort of at home and we're stuck at home, and but this time will end. So you know it's sort of like using the time that you have right now while you are at home to do a lot of things that you maybe never have the time to do. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like we gotta stay like living in the moment. Like Karen said, it's time to like see our family, see our friends. Even if social distancing is there, like we have time now, so we gotta see them, gotta spend time with them. And like I say, like physical activity is so important. You're gonna feel better if you start moving, stay active every single day. So well, thank you guys. Now we want to challenge you, everybody that's watching us, we want to challenge you to take a picture of your summer bucket list, or if it's a bucket list board like Karen, take a picture of what you want to do and share it with us on Facebook. And then in the bottom, there's going to be a little link of where you can share it. And then enjoy the first day of summer tomorrow. I know it's been pretty warm here in Quebec City, so hopefully it's going to be nice tomorrow as well. And don't forget to be a champion every single day. Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks.
Bye.
you. You guys are awesome. Thank you.